What is TWS podcast, episode, whatever, who cares at this point?
Bar. The rants of the vindicated.
It's my podcast and I do what I want to.
People, listen.
Word, is it still live?
It's not working for me, Rich. We're going to keep going. I know I changed my voice at work.
Bars on the radio.
What is TWS podcast?
One's ready.
I feel like the answer's
Staring at my watch and I'm feeling so new school.
suicide attempts, how many tries to take. They ain't ready. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the What is TWS podcast. As always, I am Flan, and across from me is my brother, Rich Nerd, and we are the White Pants Society.
White Pants.
Man, I still hope people fuck it, they don't get it. We ain't gonna do another episode about what the White Pants Society means. And shit, oh man. What's good with you, Rich?
Just another day. Another day. Have some topics I want to talk about that. But first, I want to see what the fuck is up with these tree roaches.
All right. So people, I got it. People, like, cause we family. We can talk, right? We can talk. If you have not seen a tree roach, you don't know what fear is. Like, fuck all of the movie monsters that you've ever seen. Like, these things, I know they say everything is bigger in Texas, but these are fucking monsters in the roach world. And so we rented this house. And you know, black people, like, we got a thing about roach, like what roaches mean. Like, if you see a roach in your house, what that means about you. I mean, your house dirty, or you not, a certain kind of person. Like, you feel a certain kind of way if there's a roach in your house. But these are like mega mutant. Like, just I had a fucking heart attack this morning. Like, cause Tammy saw it the night before. She said she saw something she saw something jump off the armoire. I'm like, what the fuck? I went on, so I had to get up in the middle of the night. Like, I was almost asleep. I had to get up and go over there and look for whatever jumped off the armoire. I ain't seen nothing. So this morning, I'm getting dressed and I'm walking over, to the armoire, and I just so happened to look down, and it was a second away from crawling over my foot, which would have definitely just fucked my entire day up. But you in that I just woke up stupor, and then something like that happens to you, and the way your heart jumped, oh man. And then I had to immediately go into, we gotta kill this thing, because I can't be in this house, and it's in the house too. One of us has got to go.
Yeah.
So I can't be here and not know where you are. You got to die right now. But these things are fucking huge, and they live in the trees. And so what our landlord is telling us is that because we didn't really have a freeze last winter, I guess that didn't kill off enough of them. And now it's like we in the middle of these back-to-back triple-digit days, and they looking to get out of the heat. And so they come off the trees and they get in your vents.
So that was my thing. Like, how the fuck are they getting in? Because I don't know where these motherfuckers come from. I'm tired of these motherfuckers too. But we had one in the house.
Yeah.
And I was not drunk, but sleep stupor.
Yeah.
Went to the bathroom at 3:30 in the morning, and I'm just out of it. And as I stagger over to wash my hands, I always have clothes. I see something jump. And I'm like, how the fuck did Kit get on top of the sink? So I turn and I'm like, oh,
Kit is
shit.
a dog, people. Kit is a full-size dog.
So I look and I'm like, oh, shit. So I see the shit on the fucking wall. So I jump and I'm like, oh, motherfucker. But then I'm like, oh, shit, I'm going to wake up Renee, because if she see it, it's a wrap.
Y'all got to move.
Yeah, I'm not giving up the house. So that shit was crazy. I can't deal with that shit. But it was one of those it's you or me type situations.
Yeah,
I wasn't giving up the house.
Nah, I can't be here and know that you here too. One of us got it.
My thing is that was my thing. That's what I wanted to say. How the fuck are they getting in?
Yeah. So if in our case, they coming up because we got trees all around the house. They're coming off the trees. They get in the vents. And I remember Chrissy talking about at her parents' house. And her parents' house is you've been there.
Yeah,
that's a nice house. It's not a house that you would expect roaches to be in. But she was like, they would like,
That's where they come from.
they would fall out the vent in the shower.
So
You know what the fuck that would do?
that would fuck me up. That would fuck me up. So that remind me of another one. So our second bathroom, our guest bathroom, the vent, it's like right above the shower. It's off kilter for maybe about like a half an inch.
Yeah.
So one day, Renee, she goes to the guest bathroom. She was putting up the fresh towels that she cleaned or whatever. So fucking scorpion in the tub.
Yeah.
How the fuck did a scorpion get in the tub? First of all, we know he ain't climbing there because he can't get out. He can't climb back out. So we're like, what the fuck? It's a fucking scorpion. So now she's running around the house. She's like, it's a fucking scorpion in the tub. I'm like, ain't no fucking scorpion in the tub. What you talking about? I walk in there. I'm like, oh shit, babe, it's a scorpion in the tub. She was like, yeah, this fucking tub. I thought you were lying. The fuck? So, and then I'm looking around like, how the fuck you get in there? Then I noticed the vent and it's open. He fucking crawled through the ducts.
Yeah.
And then fell in the
dropped
damn.
it.
Imagine you was in the shower.
Like, I don't want to imagine because
That shit fucked me up.
like that's one of them things where I pray to God it never happens to me because all I can imagine is I would fucking freak out, slip, crack my neck or something on the tub, and now I'm like dead, I'm butt ass naked, dead with a roach or scorpion crawling on me, you know.
Man.
And somebody got to explain this to my mother. I love Texas, but
This
come on,
bug
get
shit
the fuck out.
and the other shit that's killing me, the little geckos,
Yeah.
the house geckos.
I'm good with those. Like for some reason, them shits don't fuck with that. I mean, they don't bother me that much. Like I feel like you gonna eat the bugs. Like I can't. I know people say don't kill spiders because the spiders kill,
Yeah.
but nah, you got to die. If you a spider
I hate
in my
the spiders.
house, you got to die. But the gecko, I'm like, are you?
Every day it's like
I wanna catch one and, like-
So I caught one the other day, and I had them in a jar, and I want to see what was it. Oh, I was like, you know what? They running in here so bad, it must be mint. Because I kept telling Renee I want to get some fish or a lizard or something. I want to get a pet.
Yeah.
So I caught him, had him in a jar, poked a bunch of holes in the lid. Woke up, that nigga was dead.
You try to do the old school kid.
Yeah, the old school kid shit. That nigga, he was
in the
belly
jar.
up, literally.
Should have put him in a shoebox, nigga.
But-
You ain't giving away a shoebox.
Nah,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Your shoebox
You
has
gonna
got
get in my NMD box.
your shoebox has got shoes in them. Nigga.
Shit, they do. The fuck. Yeah, and this, you know, I'm you fuck with this.
But yeah, man, so I got to go to Home Depot and buy some shit to spray around the house now. Cause I damn near had a heart attack this month. It almost crawled on my foot, Rich. I'm almost in tears talking about it right now. Like it was an emotional moment.
So I used to put boric acid at all of the seals,
yeah,
like under the doorstep, on the outside of the doorstep, like all of the windows, like this, all of the actual seals to the apartment, because it's a deterrent, and anything that walks across it automatically kills them anyway. But now we can't do shit because motherfucking Kit want to run around sniffing shit all day. And it's like, you could almost do it. Like, you can probably do your doorways and shit.
Yeah.
Not the fucking windows because at least could touch it. But under, like, the sills of the doors, you guys are good. Now we got a fucking pet. I'll blame him. He's bringing these shits into the house. So if it wasn't for him, I could combat these motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's crazy. We had the Red Devils or them Hornets, the red Hornet shits. We had them earlier. Like Texas got just huge killer bugs. Man.
We had a hornet's nest in our backyard. It built a nest inside of the outside light.
Yeah.
So what I would do is every day when it's like midday, like drive straight home from work, beeline straight home. It's like 105 degrees outside. So they in the nest, like they trying to chill out and cool. They don't fly around during the day. I was taking shower caps, pouring bleach inside of the shower cap, and then putting it under the light. So at nighttime, as soon as it gets dark and cools off, they fly out, get hit, and then you got the fumes from the bleach going up anyway. So they would fly out, hit the bleach, boom, dead. Next morning,
You a
4 or 5 wasps flowing in there.
evil,
hornet.
sadistic motherfucker.
Man, listen, we couldn't go in the backyard because they was flying all over the place. I did that like 3 or 4 times, killed them all.
I know how to handle y'all, motherfucker. Shower cap full of bleach.
And then I read
you won't
online
come around
when you kill them to leave the nest because apparently hornets and wasps don't like playing house in somebody else's nest. So if you leave the nest, they'll never go in there and it's been like 3 weeks. Nobody came back. Oh shit!
See, this is an informative podcast. You
Yeah,
learn
it is.
things.
You learn some shit.
You learn things. You didn't know there was tree roaches, did you? Now you know. The more you know.
Big
All right.
ass roaches.
What's going on with you though, Rich?
I'm good. I kind of want to get into that to that moral conscience. So picking up from where we left off, I'm not going to go deep into it, pause. But we were talking about morality and issues, and this week is just nothing but moral issues in the news. I saw a few stories that I wanted to talk to you about. One of them popped up, and I wanted to talk about it because you have a child, and I wanted to know how you felt about that.
Oh yeah, if it's the one that New York thing.
First of all, how does that even happen? All right, so I don't fuck it. I don't broach the subject. Let me talk about this. So a woman was on a subway in New York, breastfeeding her child, and apparently a man, walks up behind her, crowded subway or whatever, and he slides his hand up the infant's skirt and her shirt and like rubbed her back or like whatever. What? Like, who thinks, let me put my hand up an infant shirt while she's breastfeeding, while her parent is holding her on the subway? And then the first time, like, and then he also like touched her pamper. So then it's like, I don't know. I don't want to go to jail. I can't spend time in anyone's cell, penitentiary, whatever. But I don't know that I have enough restraint that someone would touch my child's pamper or put their hand up their shirt, and I would just be like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" Like, there would have been an instant altercation. Instant.
Absolutely.
Instant. Like, who, like, you had time to fucking talk about this shit? No. He would be on the fucking, knock the fuck out.
So, I mean, it had to happen in New York because I'm just trying to visualize this. And so, I know how the DC subway, did this happen on the subway?
Yeah. It was on the subway.
I had to be on the subway. I know how the DC subways are. I know New York is even worse.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm thinking, like, how does somebody get that close to you and you not realize it? But then I understand how packed it could be and you getting touched. First of all, I do kind of feel a certain kind of way about, especially like in the New York subway, like the breastfeeding. Like, my wife breastfeeds, and we breastfeed in public. Like, our daughter's not being breastfed anymore. She just got weaned, and we breastfeed in public. But yeah, something about the close quarters of a subway.
Yeah, even if you're doing the blanket thing, so what? It's still. I would heavily encourage my wife not to. Even if the child was screaming, that's those points where you're pumping anyway. The subway ride is where you reserve the pumped milk for.
I don't know what to say the right thing. I guess I know it's not a good look these days. To tell a mother when and where to feed her baby, but I would be uncomfortable with my wife
on a New York City subway
or doing that at that particular time. Like that, I think Tammy would be uncomfortable doing it. I understand it. I mean, this woman obviously was, but something about pulling your titty out when it's like people, when it's that, when you that close,
many people that close. Because in my head, all I'm thinking is I'm just waiting for the one person to accidentally throw the towel off.
I mean, you know how people, and this is New York. I mean, I don't want to shit on your city, but
everybody's an asshole. Yeah.
You got a lot of perverts and freaks and weirdos and shit. And I'm gonna get man. New Yorkers gonna hate me, but y'all know what I'm fucking. Y'all know it's true. I grew up in DC and rode the subway every day of my life. I am scared of the New York City subway. I do not like the New York City subway system. It's crowded. It's dirty. It's not an environment that I even want to get on and ride. More or less, get on and bare my chest so I could. I mean, like that's
you're gonna think I'm crazy.
That's way too vulnerable a position to be in on a New York City subway train. I'm not blaming the mother for some freak doing some freaky shit. I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, Rich.
So you're gonna think I'm crazy for this? I agree. The New York City subway is the most retarded, crazy shit. But do you know? I used to get on the subway every morning, get my seat in the corner, put my headphones in, and go to sleep.
I mean, I'm gonna say if you live, because that's exactly what you do. What I did at home, like, and people would always ask you, like, how do you not miss your stop? Like, if it's what you do,
yeah.
you got a rhythm. Like you know how long it's gonna take you to get from here to here, and you just naturally wake up. At your stop. Yeah, I mean, I've been that comfortable on the DC train, and I'm sure if I lived in New York and that was
after a while,
that was home, I would be that comfortable. But I'm never in New York long enough to feel comfortable on that subway system. I fucking hate. I can't imagine.
So anyway, so that happened, and so immediately when I saw that, it brought my mind back to another situation I saw, and I physically saw this happen on a train in New York City. It was a dad and his daughter. They were sitting at the two edge seats, like right at the end of the pole by the door. And it was the daughter was like she was like a preteen. She's probably like 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there.
Yeah. And
the dad was saying, and the dad, you can tell he was is a big dude. He's sitting down, got his polo collar shirt on. You can tell like he's a professional guy. Guy across from them is standing up, holding on to the pole. But his hand is in his pocket, and he starts like rubbing his dick and shit, and like fucking touching himself, staring directly at the dad and the daughter, not the daughter in particular. So the dad is not really seeing it, like he's with his daughter, like they're playing a game like on the phone, and then the dad finally like looks around, the train is starting to empty out or whatever, and he looks over, and he's like, "What the fuck?" So I look up. I was like, "Come on, bro. You messing up my playlist and shit." Okay, somebody bumped into you. Fine. I thought it was like a regular New York shit.
Yeah.
I look up. The dude, like the dad, gets up and starts like going off on the dude. "You fucking sitting here, touching your dick, staring at my daughter," and the guy still got his hand in his pants. "You standing here touching your dick, looking at my fucking daughter." The dad does one of them quick, open hand throat chop shits.
Yeah.
Throat chops the dude. He's like, "Yo, you fucking touching your dick? Stop fucking touching your dick." Throat chops him again. And then he like grabs his neck, puts him up against the door. "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And the girl is yelling, "Daddy, daddy." And like she starts to cry and shit. The dad got the dude choked up. We finally get to the next stop and the doors open up. The dad like takes the guy, throws him off the fucking train, and just goes back and sits with his daughter like consoling her. You know what I mean? And did he fuck that guy up? Yes. But was that guy on a train jerking off, looking at his daughter? Yes. I feel like it's justified.
Yeah, it's justifiable.
So that's where my mentality is with the whole breastfeeding thing.
All right.
I'd have had to lay that guy out.
I mean, yeah, something needs to happen to that dude. Like, yeah, that's reprehensible. I can't. Fuck is you? But you know how crazy it is. Like, people. Like Tammy and I didn't want to take Elise out, certain times. But people have like no respect for personal space when it comes to children. Like they will just walk up to your child and pinch him on the cheek or something. Like, get your
I hate that.
filthy
I don't know where the fuck your
hand
hand's been.
out my daughter's face. I don't know you. Like, why are you touching my child? But people just do that. Like they would just go up and touch and ooh and yeah. Like, hey yo, like I don't.
I hate the ones who offer kids shit. Yeah. Like they constantly, "Oh my God, you're so cute. Do you want a candy?" No, she don't want no fucking candy. Then you gotta make me out. So now I gotta sit here and be the asshole and the bad guy, telling my daughter no. And then it's a thin line because it's like, okay, maybe I'll just let her take it, but I'm not gonna let her eat it. But then you put that precedent in the air, so now the child thinks it's actually okay to take shit. Yeah. So then you got to be the asshole, like, "Oh no, thank you, she don't need it." And you know what I mean? So it was like, "Oh, why are you being so mean? Why can't she have it?" Okay, you know what? It's not that she don't need it. Don't give her no fucking candy.
So I'm trying. I got to prepare myself because I want to be the parent that says the truth, like that says what I'm actually thinking. I don't. If I'm in that situation, instead of having to go through all that mental gymnastics to figure out, how to get out of this situation without offending the person or offering my child something, or B, teaching my daughter the wrong lesson. I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say exactly how I feel, and if that offends the person offering something, well. Like no, don't offer my child anything. Like, if you want to give her something, you can give it to me, and I'll make a decision about it. You talk to me about it, but don't offer anything. Let that be the last time you ever offer my child something, you know, ever. Like I'm about to say in front of me, but then that means to wait till I turn my back off. Like, nah, don't you don't like I'm really getting to that point. It's like, if I don't know you.
Yeah, I've always felt the way about that.
Speak to my children. Like, don't look at my dog. I don't really want you looking at her. Like, just mind your business.
And I'm shocked that more people just don't realize, just don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't offer people shit. I've babysat. I've sat there with all of my cousin and all of their friends. We all go on a group trip together. I'll go to the store, buy something for my cousin. Yeah. If I know like the friends and I've been around them before and I've been with their parents, okay, cool, you get a cookie too. I'm not just going to buy a cookie for everybody and say, oh, you get I'm sorry, and then do that whole song and dance. I'm not going to just offer up kid shit and not clear it with their parents. I'm not going to put myself in that situation. Just like Chicken Nugget Lady. You can't just be offering kids chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets?
No, I don't know you. No, I don't know you. I don't know what you did with those nuggets between McDonald's and here. I don't trust it.
Nah. But man, I was about to say something. What was it? Oh yeah. It gets uncomfortable at the daycare because I go to pick up my daughter every day, and then like the little kids she's at the age now where everybody's mobile. And then, they're little people now, and they know you, they recognize you, they know you're a dad. Mm-hmm. They might not understand the difference between, you have a daddy, and they're just being dads. Like, so I'll walk in there, and they know I'm a dad. So it's like, daddy, And so and my badge will be on my, attached to my pants. And they're like reaching up, my pants and grabbing my badge and stuff. It's like, how do I get this little kid away? I'm uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I don't want your child this close to me so that you can act like I did something to your child. This is why I understand why people do it. Because when little kids come around me and I don't know you, I get uncomfortable. I want get away from me, little kid. Mm-hmm. I don't know you. I don't know where your parents are. I don't want anything to come across the wrong way. No. Get away from. But they have every day when I pick up Elise, somebody want to go home with us. Somebody, somebody's grabbing on your clothing or something, or running over to you to pick them up. Oh my God!
See, that's the thing. Like I've always hated, and I don't want to be that guy. But it's 9 times out of 10 I see this happen with non-African American children. Like you'll always be outside or in public or at a school or whatever the case may be. And it's always, a child, and either the child is just... I've had kids, like, I'll be on a bus, and it'll be a kid, and they'll just lean on your leg, and they're playing, like, their game. But their whole ass arm is on your leg, and their parent will just turn and look at you, and they're like, smile and... Don't fucking smile. Tell him to you don't know me. Yeah. Why you... Don't lean on me. They'll walk up to you. They'll fucking touch you. They'll fucking hold your hand. Like, they'll do whatever. I feel the way. I don't need... any physical contact with this child. This child has nothing to do with me. And then you got this situation where now people are looking at you. Yeah. So now a person is sitting across from me listening to my music while this child is leaning on my lap. I don't need that in the atmosphere. I don't know who's actually secretly trying to sneak and record shit. So now the nigga on a train who has kids leaning on their lap and shit, I can't deal with that type of backlash. Oh
man, People need to be respectful of other people's children, and they need to teach their children. Space. Like, but that's the weird thing about like today, because so many things that I know and hold as like values or etiquette, I don't remember anybody like explicitly.
They didn't teach it to you.
Me.
It's learned.
I don't know where So it's like, how do these people not have it and these people have it? Like, because I don't remember somebody telling me you don't just like touch other people. I just remember being around other people and be like, I shouldn't touch it. Like.
And that's this is one of the issues I have to deal with at work all the time. Fucking 2 things that bother me to no end. 1, the close talkers.
Yeah.
Like, don't get close enough to my face that I can count your mustache hairs. Like that's and you're a guy. That's absolutely your face. Anybody, I don't care. Your face is too close to my face. You should be at least, if we're having a personal conversation, a half an arm length away. Hey. Regular conversation, full arm length. You don't have to be in my face.
Hey, I'm gonna talk about somebody that we know. I don't know. I'm not gonna use a name, but they might. I'm pretty sure they'll figure out who I'm talking about, because we have a close talker in our circle, and I used to work with him in an office situation, and I would be sitting at my desk, and you know how, because you've been in that office, you know how my desk was,
yeah,
and you had a partition right there, so he would come up, like right up to the partition, and it's like, and his height, and so from where I'm sitting, and you way too close to me, like I'm sitting, my head is like waist level. Like, get your dick out my face, dog. Like back, like you should feel uncomfortable. You should feel uncomfortable that your fucking dick is that close to my face. Like, why do I have to say something? Like, why do I have to tell you get your dick out my face? Why do I have to move? You came into my space.
I think those are things that, and I hate to bring up the race card, but that we always deal with, because you're automatically taught, like, without saying it, to respect another man's space, because where we're from, on those playgrounds, I'm an alpha, you're an alpha, so you have those space and those restrictions, and you just don't encroach upon somebody else's space. Yeah. I can't go to your house and tell you what to do, even though I may know, just like you can't come to my house and do it. Once we get outside, I'm not pulling the alpha card, you're not pulling the alpha card. We're mutually respectful of one another, but and you stay in your space, and then you leave. Yeah. Everybody's not taught like that. Everybody doesn't pick, and it's not even being taught. Everybody doesn't pick up on those subtleties. Yeah. Yeah. So the other thing is the close talkers, and what was the other one? Just God damn it. All right, guys. Just a quick break to pay the bills. TT Charities, aka Tavares Taylor Charities, hosts and partners with a number of organizations and corporations to help improve literacy, combat poverty, and combat hunger, and provide basic needs. Clothing, food drives, literacy programs for children, and adult empowerment are just a few of the things that they're involved in. If you want to donate, please check out ttcharities.org. If you're not able to donate, just give of your time or give a retweet. Anything is taken. We also shouting out RG Mode. RG Mode, the brand, is the brainchild of Miss Renee G. It focuses on every level of style, from fashion and trends to beauty and hair care, and even home decor, with a healthy dose of lifestyle tips and DIYs thrown in. Check out rgmode.com or youtube.com/c/rgmodetv. Last but not least, Rena's Cakeys. Cakeys are cake-like cookies that have the texture of cake, with the shape and size of a cookie, and are topped with plenty of flavored icing. Rena also has cupcakes, pies, macarons, anything you need, she's got it. Check out renascakeys.com. That's RINAS Cakeys. Not going to spell it, because you know how to spell cake. All right, back to your normal scheduled program.
I saw y'all posted it in the little, what did I call it, the proving ground.
Yeah, the couple caught having sex on a train after a Yankees game. And literally, first of all, I can tell, like, they were in the middle of the train car.
Yeah.
It's not like the train car was empty, and then, like, they were, like, just blatantly, like,
going at it.
The fucking middle of the train.
It's New York. It's I don't nothing surprises me about what happens on the New York City train. And is New York the one where the dude was dead for like a couple days and nobody realized it?
New York is so bad, and I love New York, but damn.
It's a couple places. Like I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not on my offend the world shit today, so I'm not. But it's like two places that I don't care to ever go back again. I'm not gonna say whether New York is one of those. It's too many of y'all motherfuckers. But I don't know. I want to do that the gender roles, John. Let's because we got like 15 minutes.
The one I was bringing up last episode.
Yeah.
All right, so. Like I said, I was on a drive over here, and I heard a subject come up on BBC News, and the subject, what did they say? It was two women who wrote a book called Cohabitation Nation, and it basically focused on cohabitation in America and the effect of cohabitation against gender roles as it pertains to education, and I don't know the correct term, but for their monetary classes. So basically what they started talking about was it seems like over the past several years, couples have begun to cohabitate faster and faster. They even spoke about one couple that they interviewed. They actually moved in with one another after the first date.
Shit.
And so basically, what they found was
that rent is too damn high.
the rent's too damn high. No, so many people with lower education, just so happens that the people with lower education happen to have lesser jobs and got paid less. So basically, a lot of people in the service industry moved in with one another. I don't remember the exact statistics, but a lot faster. So if an average couple is moving in with each other in a year, the people in the service industry is moving in with each other in a week.
I mean, it makes sense.
Because
a week doesn't make sense to me, but it makes sense that there'd be a correlation.
Yeah. So they're moving in with each other at a lot faster rates because, they need...
necessity.
Yeah, it's out of necessity. They need that person to share with. Whereas middle class people and people with degrees or what they're calling the working class took their time, and they took a lot longer because more often than not, even though the rents were still high and they had to be able to afford them, those persons were still in a position to where the each mate had their own place. So I was thinking about that with me and Renee's relationship. Like I had my own place and I was settled. She had her own place. And then it got to the point where, yes, she was spending the night at my place 4 nights a week or 5 nights a week. And then sometimes I would spend the night at her place 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week. Yet still, we would still, had our
it
own
always feel
mutual,
good to have.
Yeah, even if
it
was one day a week, you would still, go back to your own place because we were in a position where we could afford our own places. So when it got to the point where we moved in with one another, it was more so by choice because we wanted to cohabitate and not out of necessity and us feeling like we can't survive any other way.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think the other situation is as a roommate.
Yeah. So then what came up behind that was the topic of gender roles. And basically they said those persons like in the I guess the lower class or like service workers who were working with each other out of necessity, in the relationship they were more even because they were on the same level. She's making $12,000, he's making $12,000. No person is necessarily above the other person. So in those situations, the woman would, I guess, automatically fall back into more, what do you call it? Historical, submissive roles in a more traditional role because she doesn't want to upset this person. And then the male, too, he's not really rocking the boat. One, neither person wants to upset the other person because they know they need this person. Yeah. So therefore, both persons are, falling back into the more traditional roles. Whereas now we get to the middle class or the working class and they make a little bit more money. And yes, we're living with each other. But then you have these women who are educated and strong-willed. So they're saying, no, I'm not going to be cleaning up behind you. We're both paying for this. You need to pull your part. You need to clean up this kitchen. And then the man, because he's more educated, he's not necessarily feeling emasculated. In his mind, he's thinking, you know what, she's right. We both do cohabitate. We both are paying the bills. I should be able to, pull my own weight. And more educated man in that aspect, will throw caution to the wind and he won't subscribe to the more traditional roles frame of mind, and he'll contribute more and he's able to take that criticism. Then you get to the group that now they're just rich, they have all this money, they can do what they want to do, the upper middle class to the rich folk, and it basically goes right back to the beginning because it's like, well, I'm rich, I'm not going to do shit. You get in there, you do the cooking, you do the cleaning because this is what it is. And so I sat there and I thought about it and I was like, And I started analyzing my relationship and I was like, God damn it, this motherfucker's right. Because Renee and I have a relationship where we're middle class, we're working class, whatever you want to call it. We ain't broke, but we're able to sustain on our own. But I don't get mad, or I don't feel emasculated, or I don't feel upset if she calls me on my bullshit, and vice versa, because this is a home that we have together. This is not me as a man in my kingdom. Yes, I do feel like I should be a man and a provider in that traditional sense and take care of house and home, but this is our house and home.
All right, so man, whew.
It's a lot. I'm waiting for it. Here it
come. Oh, no. Pause. That did not sound right. All right. So I guess I can only speak for that middle class section of. Well, a couple things struck me. One, Richard, I do appreciate how articulate and and well spoken that you are, and you really try to, to make sure that you bring the points across with the proper terminology. But I'm just gonna be like as foul as I possibly can. I'm gonna be that guy. Like, I hate this bullshit propaganda that somehow like this is how they force you into whatever mindset they want you to be in. So like more educated men don't get offended when and I'm not saying one way is right or the other, but that's the way I read that statement as like, if you get offended, it's because you're not enlightened. If you like that, if you subscribe to the traditional gender roles, it's because you're not enlightened. It's because you're
which I don't agree with.
You're not educated enough. This is some people. It works that way. I think
each relationship is going to be different.
Each relationship is different, and one of the things that and I want to start doing this too, Rich. I'm a relationship guru, and I don't think I get enough credit for how vicious I am with relationship advice. So, ladies, gentlemen, if you have relationship problems, holla at your boy. I will be real. I ain't cutting, I'm not sugarcoating nothing, but I'm gonna give you, some honest, good advice, and I'm pretty damn good at it. But one of the things I tell people all the time is that you have to make room for another person in your life.
Yeah.
Like, everybody, you don't get to a certain age without being self-sufficient. When Tammy and I got together, we were both, 26, 27 years old. We both, like you said, had your own places, So you're self-sufficient. You don't necessarily need, another person for anything other than, emotional stuff and sex, But as far as like having a house or having a household and your day-to-day, taking care of yourself and paying bills, there's no deficit there. You're not looking for somebody to come in and help you with any of those things.
Yeah.
But if you're going to come together, you've got to make some room for that person. You got to let go of some things so that person, can do those things for you, and vice versa. And sometimes it just comes down to who's good at what, Like, in our relationship, Tammy's an accountant. I know how to pay my own bills, but my wife's a fucking accountant. Why should I feel pressure to manage the money because I'm a man and my wife's a motherfucking accountant? Like, I'm going to let the person with the skill to do it.
I agree. You got to find your niche and don't argue about it.
Don't argue about it. Like, my daughter, we're having issues with getting her hair. She doesn't like people touching her hair, or she doesn't like Tammy touching her hair. It's coming to light that she will let Daddy, put oil and stuff in her hair and wash her hair. She'll let me do it when she won't let my wife do it. So now I take on that role. Yeah. I gotta be the fucking hairdresser. Like, and it's nothing where somebody came to the table and said, I ain't doing this, like, I don't believe this is woman's work. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing this. Like, we fit in where we fit in. Yeah. Like, but there had to be places when we first got together, there had to be places where, somebody had to step back and somebody had to step forward.
Yeah, so you're going to have to take a concession. Somebody's going to have to step up.
You can't go into a relationship with somebody like, I don't need you. Like, like I can take care of myself. Like that. Yeah, we understand that. I got you. I wouldn't have you probably wouldn't have been attractive to me if you couldn't take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you can take care of yourself, but where do I fit? You know,
Exactly.
where's the room for me? So it's like, and I think sometimes those needs and the way the puzzle pieces fit together fall perfectly in line with those traditional gender roles. And if that's what happens,
And then that's your
then
relationship.
that's your relationship. That's what happens. And that's not somebody that's not enlightened or she's too submissive or she's not educated or that. It's just the way it worked best. You know,
I can agree with that.
you know, some women take pride in being homemakers. You know, I'm not saying that household chores make them happy. You know, or that's how they find fulfillment. But some women do take pride in being home.
And being providers.
Renee likes to decorate and shit. Y'all rearrange the furniture every 2 days over that.
Oh, I'll be at work and come home and see. And so I agree with you because I'm listening to what they're saying. It's like, okay, and I do have a non-traditional understanding or non. I can understand both sides. I won't get mad, you know, if she says something. But at the same time, Renee is a double bachelor, but she's very educated. She's very self-sufficient.
I think we both in situations where our significant others have more education than we do.
Yeah. And then, but at the same time, she doesn't mind the traditional role. She doesn't mind a man being a man in that sense. You know, oh, he wants to open my door for me. He wants to pull out the chair. He wants to, you know, make sure I'm taken care of. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, to her. So it's not going to be an exact science, like you said. You're going to slide in where you fit in.
Yeah, you're gonna find, but as long as you're open to that way, if you go into the relationship or if you go into the situation being closed off in any direction, if you're like, I want traditional and it's got to be traditional, or you go in a relationship like I'm bucking tradition, there's no way I'm gonna do any. I'm not cooking. I ain't cleaning. I ain't. You know, like you can't go either way. You just got to go in and find, you know, what, like you said, you like to cook. You're a better cook, so you cook. You know.
So that's what was interesting about it to me because I what they said about your current status where you are, and when we got together, we were both in a situation where, you know, I had my place and she had her place, and we were both taking care of ourselves, respectively. So it afforded us the chance to, you know, figure out what we want and find out, you know, whose job is what and who's gonna have what roles. Like we had that opportunity to figure that self out for ourselves instead of being like lumped in and so like, fuck it, you know, we got to make this roommate situation work.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That other situation where people is like are cohabitating after a day, like that's a roommate.
Yeah,
that's a roommate. That's not.
Yeah, that I
don't lop that in with marriages or long time relationships because that's a completely different. That's a roommate. You can't love this person. You can't care about this person. You know, you're not trying to build a home with this person. You're trying to survive with this person. Completely different situation.
And I don't think I can do it. Like I've effectively lost my sense of choice. You know, this is obligation. You can't build a relationship off of obligation like that. It's a shotgun marriage.
Yeah. Nah. I could never do it. Like even now, like I got the studio, I got the office, and this is like, you know, I still miss having my own space. And I know my wife does too. You know, I'm not saying I'm not happy with the life that we have together, or you know, living together and seeing her every day, but you miss your own space. And I can't imagine
that's what the office is for. But now she doesn't have a space.
But I had to choose to give that up. You know, like you're saying, people cohabitating out of necessity. Like, you know, I could see like resentment forming. Like,
oh hell yeah!
Like, I fucking hate you.
Like, and so that's why I'm happy about the fact that we were able to make that choice. You were able to make that choice. You give some stuff up, but what you're gaining on the back end is worth so much more.
Right. I'd never go, man. As much as I miss having my own space, I'd never go back.
That's why I'm like having an office. Just go in the office. Watch the game. You know, get some footnotes.
I'm telling you, dudes, like, try to get your ladies involved in stuff that you. I'm lucky. Like my wife, I think genuinely likes the things that I introduce her to. So, you know, she watches football. She's probably a bigger football fan than I am now. You know, we go to the same concerts. You know, she'll go to a rap show with me in a heartbeat. I'm pretty damn lucky. Rich. Pretty motherfucking lucky. I don't know, but yeah, gender role. Like I think people need to let go of that and just get in where you fit in.
Yeah, to each his own.
But ladies, I'm gonna say this because a lot of women out here, are on that, strong, independent, and we know this, we get it. Nobody's saying you're not independent, but you have to make room.
Nobody wants to be with somebody where they feel like they're not needed or wanted. Yeah.
You got to make room for somebody in your life. You got to be available. You got to make a space.
At some point, you got to open up. You got to be vulnerable. You got to make that space.
And the same thing we do. But I think, on that many-faced guy footnotes video that Jay-Z just put out, Chris Rock, had a good point where he's like, you have women that are mad at you because they need you. And it's like, you don't necessarily hear men as often say, I don't need a woman. Yeah, I think we all, like, if you a straight man, you come out the womb like, I need a woman. Somebody give me a woman.
I do hear a lot of women saying, I don't need no man.
I don't need a man.
I'm good. Take care of myself. It's not about taking care of you. It's a mutual thing that a relationship is.
But I mean, I think and this is going to have to be another episode we talk about this. But another thing that's been irking me lately is this, with the millennials and with this new age, I feel old as shit. Like, I feel like I'm talking about, like, the way people talk about hippies. That's how I feel about these new kids. Like, they just weirdos for the sake of being weirdos. But, they getting into all of this polyamorous stuff. And relationships are not, I don't want to say, like, logical or something. Like, they're saying, like, relationships are a forced social construct that is not natural. It's not natural for human beings. And they're going against this anti-marriage, this anti-relationship, this anti-monogamy sort of free love. I mean, it's hippie shit all over again.
Yeah, and then the thing with this is no one is fostering real bonds. And because they're not doing that, they're not forced. There's no real friendships. Everything is just social, poke. There's no real camaraderie and brotherhood.
Microwave popcorn ass nigga. Some De La Soul shit. But we'll say that for another episode.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
I think this has been a good one. And as usual, people, it's a lot of darkness out there.
Be the light.
Fuck it, be the light. All right, peace.